Hey, I've been missing for a while. Been kind of busy with this whole thing. It's working pretty good, so I had to go and tear it apart and make it a lot worse. But it'll be better when I'm done. I'm just working on rewiring it now and had a few small setbacks, but they're hopefully things in the past. The big thing is I cleaned out my old office here and turned it into a shop for my projects, so hopefully I'll be able to do more. Big problem is it's summer. I live in Yuma, Arizona. I think we were just called the hottest city in the United States recently. And for good reason. It's been 115 most of the summer. That's Fahrenheit. It's just as ugly sounding in Celsius, but I'm not going to do the math in my head. And the problem is I have this great new room, but it's so hot out I have to run this noisy, obnoxious air conditioner pretty much full time just to keep it tolerable in here. So I haven't been able to do many videos, and I've been putting off this one hoping it would cool down and I could do it without the big noisy air conditioner. But as you can tell by the obnoxious sound in the background, that unfortunately didn't happen yet. Hopefully it will soon, and I'll be able to start doing more videos from out here because I don't have to worry about making noise and annoying the rest of my family. But the reason for this review is a hot wire cutter right here is a big part of it. I was recently sent a battery charger from Banggood to review. This is not it. This is the charger I've been using to drive my hot wire cutter. This thing is ancient. I'd have to guess late 70s, early 80s. I inherited it from a family member. And it's pretty good for running the hot wire cutter, but that's about it. So, it's out of here. The charger that I got sent to review is the Charsoon Antimatter. I'd never heard of it, never heard of Charsoon other than seeing their name on Banggood a bit. And when I saw the photos of it, I thought, oh, another 4-button. Kind of like my trusty old beat-up buttons replace AccuCell. No big deal, I figured. But hey, I'm willing to try it and see what happens. So I told him, yeah, send it to me. I'll be honest about it. And you know what? I'm impressed. I really like this thing. It came with the one thing I don't like about it is it's got the built-in input leads that you can't remove. If you're not feeding it off of a battery or something, they just get in the way. And I do most of my charging. I just charge fairly small batteries. 2200s are about the biggest I normally do. I don't really parallel charge very often. So usually I just use this old charger that came with an Energizer nickel metal hydroxide charge pack, which is only 4 amp output, but it's enough for the little batteries I normally charge. This guy, I may have to get a bigger power supply because I want to push it a little bit, because the more I learn about it, the nicer it is. It turns out, when you first power it up, it'll identify itself, and it'll go quick. You gotta watch for it. Right there, 106B+. It's almost identical, practically is identical, to the popular and expensive iCharger chargers. It runs the exact same firmware. The board is apparently identical. I've opened it up and taken a look. I'll post a link in my video both to some reviews by people who have good test gear that confirm that this thing is really accurate and does a good job, and to a review I'm going to write up that shows what I found inside that confirmed their claims of Rubicon caps. Nice stuff. They could be counterfeit. I don't think they are. They looked good, and everything I've seen about these shows that they're pretty well made and accurate. And it looked good. The build quality on the board inside was way better than on my old AccuCell. So I'm really excited about this. I've used it to charge some batteries, and it worked well. One neat thing here, they actually give you a printed manual. I mean, come on, who sends printed manuals anymore? And not only that, it's in English. Real, actual English. Not the Chinglish that you normally get on these things. There's a few spots where you can tell they didn't really know how to translate, and it comes through a little off, but for the most part, it's actually a good, useful, helpful manual that explains almost everything this charger can do. So that was a real nice touch. Another thing I found kind of interesting is they included, who's got banana plugs on their battery to plug this into? Not most people. Maybe on their power supply, but not on their battery. But they give you clips. And the clips have sockets on them. So you can just plug your banana plugs right in, and boom, go straight to your battery. And they're soldered in there nice. It's a nice little touch, I thought, other than not being able to remove this. But hey, that's me. I'm going to complain about it because it bugs me. Not a big deal. They also include an XT60 charging cord. Nice and handy. It's only 16 gauge. Yeah, only 16 gauge. The inputs are 14. But for the power this guy's going to put out, 250 watt, 10 amp they claim. I don't know if it really can meet that, but if it can, you're not going to need much more than this anyway. They also include a Dean's style. It's not a real Dean's. The color's wrong, the feel is wrong, but it made it up with the connectors I tested it with. I don't really care for Dean's. I don't use it unless I absolutely have to, but they include that. And they include a little JST and servo connector, handy for charging it, all sorts of other things. I mean, right there out of the box, you're going to charge almost anything you need to. And that's basically what comes in the box. It wasn't quite enough for me though, because this guy has some special features that I like too. And to use those, I had to make myself one more special cable. Banana plugs to go into the output here, and XT60 male, which I can connect up to the female that came with it, which gives me banana plugs, from banana plug to banana plug, which I can use with the included clamps, and suddenly, hey, I can use it to drive my hot wire. Just clamp it on here, clamp it on underneath, and I had to play around a little bit to find the settings, but this is my knife holder. Ignore it, but boom, it cut beautifully. 2.5 amps at 10 volts through a guitar string. I believe it's a high G string. I'm not positive. It's just my box of random strings I have laying around. But it works wonderful and much nicer than the old beat-up charger I had been using. I have much more consistent cuss with this. So I'm looking forward to using this more for that. I also, with this adapter, can power out. I can provide power out, which is nice because another special mode on here is meant for breaking in and testing brushed motors. If you come into here on the settings, it navigates just like a normal 4-button charger. Maybe a little nicer. It's kind of easy to get around, but I've grown used to the 4 buttons. Special modes, you hit enter to go in, and there's the motor driver. We can set the time, the amperage, and the voltage. This guy's basically just a little power supply that lets you, it's a fixed volt, fixed amp power supply. You can dial in just what you need. As long as your power supply 2 here can provide it, it'll give it to you. So I've been using it with this little guy, which is the needle cutter I'm putting together for my CNC machine. I can throw my servo tester on here, make sure I get it on the right way so we're not embarrassed by it not working. Turn it down. And I've already got this set for a 3 amp limit at 7.3 volt. I actually want 7.4 volt. I'm pretending that this is a 2S battery to drive my needle cutter. Turn it on, hold down start just like you start a charge mode, and it's going. And I can turn up my servo here. Hold on. Where are we going to go? Oh, I may have to I may have to recalibrate this. Hold on a second. Off. Let's get the full power. Power up. Connection breakdown. We've got a connection breakdown somewhere in here. I did. Try again. Connection check. Please wait. Should hear a beep beep beep. You know what? I wonder. My wires are damaged here. I wonder if they finally gave out on me. It's my servos. You know, it's the curse of the camera. It is. Because I've used this thing 3 or 4 times just like this. No problems. And of course, as soon as I get out the camera to do it, nothing's going to work. Oh. Yeah. Now I said let's make sure we get this on the right way. Helps if you do get it the right way. Okay, let's try that again. Power up. And we're getting that darn connection broken again. Okay. Success always occurs in private, failure in full public view. Story of my life. Power it up again. There we go. There we go. We got our beeps. And sure enough, I can drive it. And I know from testing right around here is where this likes to go for the RPM I need. But it's going to show me everything that's happening. We got our time count down. Up above that, we have our amp draw, which is right now a measly 0.4 amps. Our volts, we're holding right at 7.4 as requested. And our output in watts, 3.1 watts. And right there, we can drive this motor just as long as we want. Once it's on there and cutting foam, turn that off because, hold on. It's kind of loud and obnoxious, huh? Okay, shut it back down. Oop. Why are we stopping? Oh, there we go. Okay, we are off. So yeah, the motor driver mode and the foam cutter mode both work really well for me. I'll see if I can demo the foam cut here. My foam cutter is really rigged together. This thing is quite the joke. But if I clamp this on so it makes decent contact with that wire, and come down here, make contact with the bolt on the back side. I'm going to have to take the charger way over here for this. Sorry, it's as long as the cord I had. And I'm going to select my mode, special modes, foam cut. 2.3 amps, I've got it on a 10-minute max timer, 10.2 volts. Hold down start to get it going. It's going to check to confirm that it's got power. It's telling me cut running. It gives me time and watt draw. And it ramps up the amperage. It takes it a second or two. Then once it gets there, it's going to take a second or two for the wire to get hot. But once it is, like a hot knife through butter. Then you get a nice, clean, perfect cut right through there. You know, just a hair fast. I'd rather keep it cold and go slow to get a good cut than run it too fast. You run it too hot, you go too fast, you don't get a very clean cut. Right there, and that is nice and clean, can pull right out, and it's a gorgeous cut that I'm able to get with this. Much nicer than my old power supply did for me. So I'm impressed, I'm happy. Do I sound happy? I hope I do, because I am. And this is just working a treat for me. I have used it for normal batteries as well, and it worked just fine for normal batteries. The other interesting mode is measuring internal resistance. I don't have any cells out here. It gets hot in this room during the day, and I don't like leaving them out here, and I forgot to grab one for this video. But the internal resistance lets you see how your batteries are doing. And it's great. I went through every battery in my set and confirmed that the ones that haven't been doing well for me, they've got really high internal resistance. I had some over 80. And those packs I knew didn't fly worth anything. And that's mega ohms. I mean, that's a lot of internal resistance on those. A good pack should have 10 mega ohms maybe or less. And yeah, a lot of my packs are just dead. I knew they were was able to confirm it. So I'm happy. I like it. I would definitely buy it again if it was my own money. Like I said, this one, Banggood sent it to me. I told them though, if I don't like it, if there's anything stupid about it, I'm going to tell everybody. And the only thing I can complain about, since I want to complain about something, is these annoying wires you can't remove. Other than that, it's gorgeous. One other little thing to mention here, it's got a USB port on it. Now I asked the contact who sent this to me, what's the USB port for? The instructions don't make any mention of it. And he replied back saying, oh, that's for internal factory use only, not for end users. So don't worry about that. I worry about it. I like those things. I'm curious. And once I found out that it's basically a 106B plus in disguise, I figured out, well, let's give it a try. So I plugged it in. It shows up as a serial port. 9600 baud, good old N81, no stop bits, 8-bit, you know, the usual 9600 baud settings for a serial connection. And it spits out data while it's doing whatever it does. The strings it spat out kind of made sense. Some of them I could tell, you know, they were amperage, they were milliamp hour count going up, voltage going down. I could kind of figure it out, but not entirely. But the good thing is other people have, because the iCharger has been around for a while, and there's a program, LogView, that I can add in the links down there, that will work with it. You just plug it in and go, and it'll graph and record and chart everything that this guy does for you. So if you want to be really over nerdy like that, and you want to chart your batteries and see how they do over time, or you know, it can do cycles. So you could set it up to do a charge-discharge cycle 10 times over on your pack and see how it handles. If you believe they need break-in or whatever like that, then you can chart it and see how it does and collect some numbers. So it's a pretty cool little guy. I'm happy with it. I'd recommend it. For somebody just getting started, it's going to be plenty of charger. It's only like $50, which is, you know, about twice what I paid for my AccuCell. But this does a lot more than the AccuCell. I wish I'd had that internal resistance measurement ability for a long time. And the foam cut, the motor drive, just, you know, extra bonuses. Make this thing really earn its keep. So, yeah, I would not hesitate to suggest this for somebody who's looking for a charger. I mean, it's not going to replace a big, fancy, high-end charger that's going to really crank out the power and do 6 batteries at once, parallel charging. But for most people, you don't need all that. If you're just getting started in the hobby and you're trying to keep things under a budget, it's tough to beat this. The AccuCell that I had, I paid $20 for it when I got it. They don't sell that cheap anymore. The price has gone up. Plus, you have to pay shipping. This guy's got free shipping. They're almost a wash at this point on price. So, yeah, I'm saying I like it. It's 2 thumbs up for me, and I have no problem saying that, even though it was free. I really can't think of much more to add right now, but if I do, I'll throw up another video about it, and I'll throw a link down below to my review on FliteTest. And as I continue to play with this thing, I'll keep posting more there on FliteTest, because I got a few other things I want to try with this. And I think we'll have fun, and he'll show up again. Anyway, if you like that, if you found it useful, give me the thumbs up down there. Subscribe. You know, I don't post stuff super often right now, but I'm trying to get around to posting more. And once this guy's going, I'm pretty sure I'll be posting more. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.